Alrighty, good morning to all. We are now looking at rule changes, and for no reason in particular, I'm wearing a San Jose jersey to discuss it. Because we're looking at expanded review next year. Now, of course, I talked about this in the live stream last night when it was revealed, but this is the proper video on it this morning. So we're going to see an expanded review, meaning there's no limit to coaches' challenges. However, before people go, oh, crap, the timeout thing is no longer a thing. So no matter what you're challenging for, it's now a penalty if you're wrong. And if you make a second challenge and you're wrong on that one too, it's a double minor. And every subsequent failed challenge would also be a double minor. So don't be surprised if you see less challenges. That being said, when the challenges do take place, they should be more egregious. You know what's weird is that yesterday, a meeting where they're talking about making all these changes, apparently there was some discussion about just wiping out offside altogether. Just get rid of it. So there are general managers who are as frustrated with the fact that offside calls are leading to goals being called back where they know that the guy being offside gave absolutely no advantage to the attacking team. And they don't like the whole, he's a half a millimeter offside. Who cares? Like, they feel the same way about that as a lot of us do. And I think there's something to be said for maybe tweaking the offside rule in some way. But hopefully we'll get there. All majors, match penalties. So if it's a 5-minute major and it's not a fight, it has to be reviewed by the referee before that call becomes final. The weird part is, and I've looked at this through various sources, you can only drop it to a 2-minute minor. And as I said during the live stream last night, the interesting thing is, so you give a guy a 5-minute major. So we'll go back to the Cody Eakin thing. So 5-minute major, he can only drop it to a 2-minute minor. Well, what if the referee looks at that and goes, well, actually, Eakin didn't do anything I would normally have given him a penalty for. Oh, well, you're in the box. So that's kind of weird. That's really kind of weird. But anyways, hand passes are now reviewable as well. So if it should have caused a stoppage like a hand pass, that's reviewable. Also, if the puck hits the netting, that's reviewable. It's really weird how specific these calls are in what they're announcing. It's like the NHL's come out and said, you know what? The officiating in the last playoffs was exposed. We don't like what we saw either. And we're changing it. And this is why when people say, well, the league was trying to rig it for San Jose. Nah, it's just run poorly. And not only that, but to give the NHL some credit here, these are the kinds of things that have never happened before. The puck off the netting resulting in a goal. It was between Boston and Columbus. Hand pass leading to a goal in overtime of a playoff game. And the Eakin, Pavelski, Stastny thing, that was just a whole bunch of things that came together, and it was really, really unfortunate. So the NHL's admitting this, and they're admitting they have to make some changes. Now, of course, the fact that minor penalties are not reviewable means that a coach can't just, hey, you should have called a penalty there that was hooking, that was cross-checking, that's not reviewable. I have no problem with that. That's fine. Double minor high sticks are reviewable, though. So if a guy gets high sticked in the face with his own stick and draws blood, that's reviewable. But if he hits himself in the face with his own stick and doesn't, well, that's not reviewable. So don't draw blood with your own stick. So that'll be interesting. And according to Gary Bettman, there were only 39 penalties in the league all season that would have been affected by this rule change, because there were only 39 majors that weren't fighting related in the NHL last year. So this really shouldn't dramatically affect the flow of the game at all. The helmet off rule is now in effect. You must leave the ice, but you're able to pick up your helmet and put it back on, even if the chin strap isn't done up, which I think is strange, because if the chin strap's not done up, it's going to fall off again. But if you're directly in the play, you don't have to leave the ice. So for a guy who's in the corner and his helmet comes off, he does not have to leave the ice until he's no longer a vital part of the play. This is going to be a problem. I'm calling it now. Within the first couple of weeks, there's going to be a play where guy's helmet comes off, referee either calls a penalty on him for not leaving the ice, or the referee's yelling at him to leave the ice, and the fans of that team are going to say, hey, he was part of the play, and he shouldn't have had to leave the ice there. That's going to be one of those things that's going to get tweaked as the year goes along. The attacking zone faceoffs thing, to me, is strange, and being able to pick which side of the ice is strange, but the league is trying to encourage goals. They are trying to encourage offense. They know that's what people come to see. They come to see hits, fights, and offense. And since fights have become very scarce, throw in some more highlight reel goals. So at the start of a power play, you get not only the attacking zone faceoff, but you get to pick which side of the ice that faceoff's going to be on. Goalie freezes the puck, which is shot in from the neutral zone. Again, you get to pick the dot, and the team cannot change. The defending team cannot change their players on the ice. So, when a goalie freezes the puck so they can get a line change, if that puck came in from the neutral zone, that will no longer mean they get a line change. And if the attacking team sends the puck out of play, the puck stays in the offensive zone. I hate this one. This is the only one I look at and say, nah, I don't think so. Because there are certain situations where potentially teams will be like, well, we'll just intentionally throw it out of play. If that play doesn't open up for us, we'll just throw it out of play, and then we'll have a face-off, and we'll have a chance to set it up again. I don't like this one. This one bothers me. And they looked at whether or not they could review delay of game penalties where a player shoots the puck over the glass. They decided not to change that rule or to tweak it and allow reviews, because cameras are not universal in all 31 buildings. As in, you might have a great angle on it to see whether or not it went out in Columbus. You might have a horrible angle to see whether or not it went out in Detroit. Just using those as examples. So they decided if you can't have a universal situation where it's going to work in every case, we're not going to bring it in. But I think there's some nice tweaking that's gone on here. I think that this should alleviate a lot of the problems that we saw in the playoffs. But then there's going to be arguments. There's going to be referees that review major penalties and don't rescind it. That say, nah, that's a 5-minute major, and fans are going to be freaking out after. And then the whole everything's rigged for that team is going to come up again as an argument, at which we saw a lot in the playoffs. Well, it was rigged for San Jose. They rigged it for the team that never won a Stanley Cup. Okay. And I've said this before, and I know it comes across just as sarcasm, but if the league's trying to rig things for one team, they're doing a horrible job of it. You have brand new Stanley Cup champions, different teams winning, and the idea that it's rigged, and then you could see the passion that players have for the game at the awards show, and you could see the passion that coaches, general managers have for the game. If it was really that obviously predetermined, you wouldn't see that. You'd see players dropping out of the league. You'd see coaches walking away from the game and saying, clearly this league has it in against us or in against this organization. And these rules, I think, help show that the league knows there were problems in the playoffs, but they couldn't change what was going on. They could not just step in and make wide, rampant changes, because that's not how it works. The NHLPA's competition committee, along with members of management on the other side of the fence, have to come together, agree on these things. It has to go to the Board of Governors. The Board of Governors has to say, yep, we're going to bring these in, which is what's happened. So they're flat out admitting, these playoffs, we saw some real controversial crap happen. And now that they brought these rules in, watch that something else is going to come up. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happen upon this video, and hey, I like these rule changes. I think they're fine. I know there's going to be people that disagree, but I think at least the league is admitting, yeah, we had some problems in the playoffs, and we're going to fix it. So let me know what you guys think. I know everybody hates Bettman, so let me know how all of this is Bettman's fault still. There might be a video on this channel, but everything's Bettman's fault. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. And I will talk to you guys again very, very soon because there's new stuff going into the draft as well.